What is going on, guys? It's Dalton Riley here, one of the hosts for Boys on the Bench, and I'm glad to be back as I have my top three WNBA bets for you today. Now, before we get started, guys, we are almost done with the NHL season, the NBA season. Things are starting to wrap up. What a time to be a Dallas fan, as the Dallas Stars have now lost to the Edmonton Oilers, and now they're going to be taking on the Florida Panthers this Saturday. And now you've got the Dallas Mavericks taking on the Boston Celtics come Thursday. So a lot of things are starting to come to an end, and then we're going to be full swing MLB. However, taking a look at the Daily Grind Fantasy Optimizer tool, I really like what we're getting in the WNBA sphere right now. So that's kind of where I'm geared for this episode. Also, before we get started, guys, I just want to remind y'all to head on over to my X page where you'll find my username, Dalton_boys OTB. And there, guys, you'll find all of my picks every single day. And there, I'll provide links for you guys where you can click on that. It'll take you straight to PrizePicks, where you can copy the slips. It takes less than 5 seconds, no time at all. I promise you, it's that easy. So go ahead, head on over there and give it a follow. Now, without further ado, guys, let's go ahead and head over to PrizePicks and see what we got going on today. So as you see here, for our first pick, we have Breanna Stewart going over 9.5 rebounds, Sabrina Ionescu going under 6 assists, and Dewana Bonner going over 5 rebounds. So now let's head on over to the Daily Grind Fantasy Optimizer tool, where you'll see here we have Breanna Stewart as our first overall pick, but she is currently second on the board. I just really like where she's at right now, and I like who she's playing based on this stat here that we have for going over 9.5 rebounds. And if we look at these three major sports books for FanDuel, DraftKings, and Fliff, they currently have it pretty inflated at 10.5 rebounds, ranging anywhere from plus 105 to plus 114, and her percentage of odds to hit is 52.58%. Now, we do like that number to be closer to 54% or higher. However, considering the fact that the average is minus 133 based on Daily Grind Fantasy, I'm really liking these odds. So if we go and head over to Outlier, you'll see here that looking at her head-to-head versus Chicago Sky, she has hit this 100% of the time, going over 9.5 rebounds. So, and not to mention, right here, this is very important. Chicago currently ranks 10th when it comes to allowing rebounds. So they are very forgiving when it comes to the boards. So this is, to me, a hidden gem for Breanna Stewart. I think she's going to absolutely smash this line. So I'm looking for anything north of 9 rebounds at least. So I think she's going to play great. Also, something to look here that I really like about Outlier for these insights is Breanna Stewart has exceeded 9.5 rebounds in 6 of her last 7 games versus bottom 5 defenses for rebounds allowed, which is 11.3 rebounds per game average. So yeah, look, they're expecting at least anything north of 10 rebounds right here, looking at that insight. So to me, I feel this is a no-brainer. I'm really liking it, so I'm gonna stick true to this one. This is one of my favorites here tonight for this matchup today. So let's go ahead and head back to Prize Picks and look at our next pick. So for our next pick, we currently have Sabrina Ionescu going under 6 assists. So let's head back to the Daily Grind Fantasy Optimizer tool, and we'll see here. We have to scroll down quite a bit, but she's right here going under 6 assists. And looking at the three major sports books, they currently have it at 5.5. So going under. So we kind of get that half point buffer, which we'll take what we can get, right? So ranging anywhere from minus 105 with DraftKings to plus 114 with FanDuel. So with an average of minus 130, with our odds being 52.11%, it's a slight drop from where we're at with Breanna Stewart. However, I still like where we're at with this. So let's go check this one out on Outlier. Here we'll see in her last 20, she's hit this 60% of the time, going under 6 assists. Not too bad, but like I said here, this is another New York Liberty player here, teammate of Breanna Stewart. Chicago Sky, they currently are ranking second when it comes to allowing assists. So again, very, very, very forgiving, not only on the boards, but also allowing assists. So I feel like this could be a easy line for Sabrina to get. So again, not bad. And as we'll see here for this insight, Sabrina Ionescu has failed to exceed 5.5 assists in 12 of her last 14 games on the road, which is 3.8 assists per game average. So again, good insight, good things that we're seeing here. It just goes ahead and backs this key up, this right here for Chicago's assist defense, ranking second overall and allowing assists. So again, I think this is something that just stood out to me. I feel like this is a great value pick for what we're getting, considering that it has slid down a little bit. So again, I like this one here. So for my last and final pick that I have today, I have DeWanna Bonner going over 5 rebounds. So let's go ahead and head on over to the Daily Grind Fantasy Optimizer tool again and see what we got. So for DeWanna Bonner, as you can see here, she is currently the third on the board, just under Breanna Stewart, who we had for our first pick in our slip today. DeWanna Bonner is going over 5 rebounds, as we mentioned, and it looks like for our 3 major sports books, we have them currently all going for 5.5 rebounds, which gives us that half-point buffer, which is what we're always looking for. So we're kind of inflated there, which is nice, like I said, about this tool, because that's what helps us find these positive EV plays. So it looks like it's ranging anywhere from minus 115 to as high as plus 100, giving those percentage odds to hit at about 52.23%. So again, I like it. We'd like that to be closer to 54, like I mentioned earlier. However, I still like this play. So let's go ahead and head over to Outlier and check out what we got. So as we can see here, in her last 10 games, she has gone over 5 rebounds 60% of the time, as well as in her last 20. And like I said, I love looking at this stat over here. It looks like the Washington Mystics are kind of middling when it comes to allowing rebounds. They're, like I said, middle of the pack. However, DeWanna Bonner is very aggressive towards the boards. And in fact, if we just look at her last game that she just played versus Atlanta, she had 10 rebounds. So she's coming off a very high rebounding game. So I'm kind of hoping she'll kind of keep that going on that streak with those rebounds. So like I said, I'm pretty excited about this one. I like where we're at with these 3 picks. So anyways, guys, these are our top 3 WNBA prize picks for today. As you can tell, most of these picks came straight from the Daily Grind Fantasy Optimizer tool, and we are getting decent odds on all of these. Again, let us know if you're tailing any of these. Let us know if you're fading them. And as always, I'll also copy and paste the slip into the link from PrizePicks in the comments below. So make sure you jump on them as soon as possible before the lines change. Anyways, guys, have a wonderful Tuesday, and we'll see you guys tomorrow.